If you want to build a social media following on Instagram, start a YouTube channel, build a TikTok page on top of your 9 to 5 in a way that doesn't take over your life, gives you a decent, stable enough income as a side hustle, and on top of everything, gives you career visibility, then you're gonna want to watch this entire video because I'm going to break down how you can get started with creating content on top of your 9 to 5 without worrying too much about what to post or worrying about burnout on top of your 9 to 5. This is the first of a new series that I'm thinking about calling Unfiltered Game, where literally it's just me, some notes, and I'm talking to you guys. I literally have my laptop in front of me with these notes. Getting right into it, let's break down why posting content is actually going to be a power move for you. When first starting, I never really cared about this, but over time I realized that creating content is actually a digital asset and it should be treated as such. Even with a 9 to 5, posting content has the ability to build authority for you, build leverage for you, and eventually even build up your income. Now it's up to you if you want to keep your face on there or keep it faceless, but I'm gonna break things down as we keep going throughout this video. Now the most important thing is if you wanna put your face on it like I am right now, this is what we would consider building a personal brand, which is not only one of the most important things you should actually be doing, but genuinely it is your cheat code for future opportunities. I've had people I've never met before tell me that they knew about me because of content that they saw on their feed, whether it was through Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Now this is great. It's always good to know that I have some fans out there, and it's also good to know that I guess I have a few haters too. That means you're doing something good in life. But what's more important than that is the fact that I'm understanding that there's brands that are also looking to reach out to me. You can even find other collaborators and people who want to work with you that are willing to work with you simply because they've seen your page. Without even needing a resume, they already have started to build trust with you. So don't just look at it for the sake of fans or haters or even getting some buzz. It's way more important than all of that. You can actually reach out to and build an insane network of high value individuals. Now, if you keep it faceless, the pro with this is you have the ability to make money with your content without people knowing who's behind it and without attaching yourself to anything. For all anyone knows, as long as you don't reveal it to anybody else, there are pages out there on the internet that are being run by other people. No one knows who's behind them, but money comes to that person's bank account every single day, week, or month, depending on how they want to set it up. They just sit there and collect the bag. It's literally on autopilot at that point. The good part about faceless content too is that you have the ability to exit because it is not tied to you as a person. I can't exit the personal brand of Menes. Like Menes will always be Menes. As long as I decide to show up and put my face on camera, you guys will always see me. I can't just decide, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore and then give this off to somebody else. Nobody else can be me. I am the only one who can be me. Now that we broke down why content should be a good thing that you should post, regardless of which route you want to take, I want to go into how you're going to actually manage this with your 9 to 5 because obviously time is tight. So you have to structure everything. Now, these are a few tips that I like to go through. I do have a weekly schedule I like to go over every few months, every 6 months, 3 to 6 months, just to see what my weeks tend to look like and how I should break things apart to really have all of my calendar be as optimized as possible. And that's a document that I will share in the description below, which I call my weekly structure. I do share this with a lot of my students as well, but I want you guys to be able to have access to this because again, it's Unfiltered Game. But as you go through that document, the main thing that I want to tell you guys is you need to ask yourself, what is your real availability, and work with it, not against it. Don't try to force a bunch of stuff into your schedule that you actually can't do. Make it easier for yourself to lean into getting the content done. One way I like doing this is by batching my work. So when it comes to content, there's 5 main pillars you're always going to go through. Within this process, you're going to go through ideation, where you look for ideas, scripting those ideas, recording the actual videos, editing the videos, and then finally posting those videos. Now, going through all 5 steps of the process every single day is going to be a lot of work, and that's what will actually lead to you burning out. So I tend to batch my workout. I'm gonna break down how you can batch your work based off of my schedule so you can see how you can make it work for yourself. However, the way I go about it, I batch all of my video ideas on Mondays. Everything that I want to test for the week, I get it on Monday for me to test and see which video ideas I want to recreate for myself across my businesses. I spend Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday is the main day for scripting. Wednesday is if I have to do any additional things, like think about different B-rolls that I gotta add, different assets to add here. Maybe we need to take a case study that was happening in this specific university to tie it into the script. That's when I get different things to make the video more valuable, which I like to call phase 2 of scripting. I have that happen on Wednesday, but if I have enough time to do it on Tuesday too, I do it on Tuesday. But essentially Tuesday and Wednesday is scripting for me. Thursday is when I sit down and I record all of my videos. For anybody who's new to this channel, I really enjoy e-commerce, so I also do organic dropshipping on top of the content creation alone. Thursdays is when I record all of my videos, not only for my personal brand, but also for my dropshipping pages as well. I leave Friday and Saturday to edit, and then I have Sunday to essentially post all of my videos, because in certain cases, like YouTube videos, I can schedule it to come out at a later date if I want to follow like a weekly routine of posting. But when it comes to TikTok and Instagram, I just make sure they're all set up in drafts, and I just focus on posting the videos when the day comes. And I tend to post either 1 to 3 videos every single day. And I just go about it like that. Every single day, every single week, it just reruns that way. So that's how I batch my work. You guys can do it similarly. You don't have to follow the same days as me, but the idea of batching your work like that will save you so much time and will allow you to work on your focus too, because now instead of focusing on 5 different things at once every single day, you're training the muscle to focus on one thing at 100% capacity and finishing that faster than having to do all 5 things at once. It won't always be like that, because eventually you will buy back your time. You will eventually hire a content researcher to look for video ideas for you. You will eventually hire an editor that is going to edit your videos for you, or a videographer if you want to go that far, so that he does the content and edits the videos for you. But you can also even have a script writer that's in charge of actually handling all the scripts to make your videos more engaging. In the beginning, it's gonna start off as just yourself. Over time, you'll be able to spend money to be able to buy back your time in these things, so that you really just have to worry about validating different ideas instead of actually doing the research, validating the script instead of actually doing the research, and then sitting down and recording. At the end of the day, hiring will be an investment, but don't rush yourself into it right away, because you need to learn the skill before deciding to outsource it to somebody else, because they need to understand your style of content. They need to understand how you want to approach the content. They need to understand how you want to create these videos as well, without you actively being there to tell them. And if you don't know anything about how to get it done and you try to give it off to someone else, they're gonna give you a horrible video, but you're gonna think it's great because you haven't really done the work yourself, so you don't know what it looks like. I also want to talk about burnout, but not specifically how you'll get there. What saved me from burnout is what I want to share with you guys, because burnout is something that is inevitable if you don't know how to manage it and how to fix it. Because at the end of the day, you need to find out what the bare minimum amount of content you can post is. Personally, I would suggest, bottom line, you need to post once a day. It's not that hard. You probably already do it on different platforms in ways that don't serve you. You just gotta do it for yourself now in a way that does. The reason why I say that is because when you're getting into this game of creating content, it's actually you hopping into a different economy entirely. So for me to explain this in better terms, if you're working your 9 to 5 and you're working your job, you are now in a time and efficiency economy. You're not paid based off of the results that you bring in. You are paid based off of the time that you are willing to give to the company, and they are paying you for that based off of the work that you're doing for them. When it comes to creating content, you are now in a results-based economy. You are paid based off of the results that your work is going to bring in. So when you look at it like that, it makes more sense to have more eyeballs on your page by posting every single day instead of posting like 5 times or 4 times a week. Because if you really think about it and do the math, if you post 4 times a week for a month, you're really only getting 16 posts out in 30 days. Whereas if you post every single day, you can get 30 to 31 posts out per month, which gives you 30 to 31 chances per month to go viral, instead of just 16 times to go viral. You get what I mean? I feel like the sweet spot is 1 to 3 posts per day. Don't force yourself to do too much, but at the same time, don't let a day go by where you don't do anything. You will feel horrible about it later. I know I have. I did give you my ideal structure, but I also get that life happens. Not everybody's perfect. My key advice here is you need to find out what type of content that you can post on days where you feel a bit burnt out, where you don't feel as creative as possible. And these are videos that could be stuff like lifestyle vids, or that would just be the quick pants with a quick message. I'll show a few examples on the screen of like videos that I've done that are similar to that. And these are literally on days where I just didn't feel like sitting down in front of the camera and actually creating content or editing a full-blown piece of content. So I just put this out so that I can at least stay consistent and keep the algorithm noticing me and pushing out my content. The lifestyle vids, what I like to call yapping on the phone, different things like that. You could always reuse these videos and post them on your page whenever you don't feel like actually creating a full piece of content. Now that that we've gone over content, I also want to share that you should also understand what platform that you want to go on, but you should pick this based on your strengths. For example, if you're trying to run up a personal brand and you like videos, then what you should do is post YouTube videos, post TikTok videos, post Instagram videos. If you don't actually like being on camera, but you want to share value and still build that personal brand, that's when I suggest going on things like X, go on Medium, go on LinkedIn, and start sharing your value over there in a written format. No matter which platform you pick or the route that you take, the end goal should be for you to create a YouTube channel where you can give this same value on YouTube and actually build an audience there, because YouTube is a place where people actually build the deepest connection with you. I want you to have this same approach if you are deciding to either affiliate for other people's brands or create content for other people's brands as well. Choose the game that you want to play, whether you want to put your face on it or be faceless, and then pick the platform that's best suited for it. So personal brand, in my opinion, it'll always be TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to add X and all these things to it, you can, but I think those are the big three. And if you go faceless, then you can do TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. What I'd also keep in mind, or what I want to suggest, is look at different platforms and different websites like WAP and Copecart, where you can find different marketing campaigns to get into and use their affiliate platform and use their marketing campaigns and build pages for them and help them get more views, where you can get paid not only for people actually buying through your affiliate link, but in certain cases, you can get paid for the amount of views that you generate for them specifically. And the best part about those is you don't have to put your face in it. This is stuff like clipping, for example, if you wanted to have a quick example of it. As I'm telling you all this, there's going to be a point in your life where you are going to climb what I like to call the cringe mountain, where the hardest part is to be seen trying. I mean, that's literally why I'm recording this video on top of a parking lot where there's literally nobody here and all you see is views. There's a bunch of people at the bottom over there, but there was way too much traffic for me to record over there. No matter how good it looked, no matter what beautiful cars I was seeing, I didn't want to do it over there because not only would it have been difficult, but again, the hardest part is being seen trying. And I'm saying this as someone who still over time is actually going through climbing this cringe mountain. I want to share different things that have gotten to my head when it comes to climbing this mountain and how I've been able to move past it so that you don't have to think about it too hard when it happens to you. First, you'll feel awkward posting, especially if coworkers or friends end up seeing your videos. This mainly only applies if you're putting your face out there, because if you're faceless, they won't even know that it's you behind the page. But one thing that I want you to remember is this: you can speak about anything that you want, and people who don't like what you have to say don't resonate with you and aren't the audience that you are actually trying to build. They're not the people that you actually want to help with your content or the people that you actually want to be closer to with the content that you put out. They're not the people that you actually want to keep around you. So what you have to do is you have to push through the cringe, because that's how you build confidence. It's not from people coming to see you saying, oh, I saw your video, that was so cool, da da da. It's not from that. It's not from having different brands come to you and talk to you about doing this, that, and the third, and wanting to work with you. The confidence comes from actually showing up and making these videos. That's when I felt the most confident. It's not when I'm talking to business owners and trying to help them out with their content, or when I'm talking to fans that are really appreciative of what I do. It's when I'm actually sitting down and making these videos that are able to help another person out there that resonates with what I've got to share with the world, because I know what I've got to share with the world is actually helpful for you guys, because these are the same things that would have been helpful for me when I started out. Every single time you test or post a new video, you will learn what you can do to make the video better next time you create it. This phase that you're gonna go through where you're gonna think your content sucks is inevitable. It's the best phase to be in though in the beginning, because it's also at a point where not that many people even know you. So you can fail as much as you want, it doesn't really matter. The best thing you can do to get out of the phase of sucking so much is by putting more and more videos. You just gotta practice it some more, and practice comes with repetition. But again, you don't want to just practice without actually thinking about getting better each time that you post. So that should really be the target. The aim is to get better each time that you post a new video by finding out what you did this time that didn't work for you, how you can make it better. Maybe it's the hook that you gotta change. Maybe it's the value within the video that wasn't too easy for people to understand. Like, what can you do to make the video so much more valuable but easier to digest for your audience too. And I want to share something that my mentors told me when it comes to this as well. Where the two biggest qualities they said to have in this game, you got to be resilient and you got to be relentless. As long as you have those two, you will make it very far, not only in this space, but pretty much in every other area of your life. The third part of the cringe mountain is that you will be judged. I'm a believer in God. I'm not going to go too much into the religion side of things right now, but I've come to the understanding where I don't really care about the judgment of people whose opinions don't matter to me as much, simply because us as humans, as a collective, spent our time judging Jesus and he still died on the cross for our sins. So I'm not even going to worry too much about the judgment that humans are going to give me for the content that I do. I'm choosing to stay true to myself because I think this is what's actually going to be helpful and beneficial to those of you out there that find value from what I'm trying to say. But it took me some time to get there. I got laughed at for different pieces of content that I've posted. I've had people say the hook of a video that I've posted that didn't perform that well, but they found it funny, so they would come into the workplace, say the actual hook from my video, and start laughing when everyone knows full well, like, oh yeah, it was from my video. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They don't know that that video paid me though. They came in for their regular shift and whatever and got their money in, which that's fine. Like, I don't discredit that at all, but I also got paid more money on top of that because I decided to do that. So it doesn't really matter to me. You will be judged no matter what you do in life. So it shouldn't be the fact that you're creating content that makes you scared of being judged. It's not the first time that you would have been judged before, and this probably won't ever be the last time that you're gonna get judged in your life either. What I found to be easy to do when it came to this part is just going ghost and focusing on the work. And this is not to mean like switching up on your day ones or anything like that, because some people say that when it comes to the entrepreneurship journey. It's nothing like that. It's just, I know I want this. This is the path that I'm choosing. I will do whatever it takes to get there. And if that means we don't have to talk for a few months, maybe a few years, so be it. I wish you the best in your life, but I'm also gonna do what's best for me in my life and what I want to accomplish in it. Focus on what really matters to you and just ignore the rest. For me, it's God, my family, my inner circle, my team, and my community. If you're not part of those five, I kinda don't really care too much about what's going on your end. Like, I wish you the best though, but it doesn't really affect me in any way, shape, or form. The same way that I'm still gonna have to wake up and eat food and pay bills and do this, that, and the third, you're gonna have to do the same thing. You're gonna have to wake up and eat food and pay your bills and go to work and do all these other things, you know, hit the gym, whatever it is that you wanna do. Your approach when it comes to doing that will be different from mine, and that's okay. It just is what it is, which is why I'm not gonna spend so much time focusing on other people's lives or what other people have going on, but I'm gonna spend a lot more time focusing on what I have to do in this life and in this world. One last thing that I want to say before we move on to the next topic is that it's okay for them to be right for right now, because it won't always be like that. They could be right today, they could be right 6 months from now, they could be right a year from now, they could be right 2 years from now, but 3 years from now it could change. It could change 4 years from now. You could be an entirely different person 5 years from now. And then what are they gonna say? At that point, they're gonna go from judging you to asking you how you did it. If I'm being honest, the best thing that's gotten me through this whole cringe mountain thing is choosing to stay true to myself. And I think that's something that you guys should do too, regardless of the path that you take. Just stay true to yourself and don't let anybody ever convince you to do something that you are not okay with or that you are not proud of doing. The person whose opinions should matter most to you is yourself. So always make sure that you keep that to a high standard. Now let's get back to the content side of things in terms of what you're actually gonna be able to post and stuff like that. I want you to understand that there are videos about literally everything out there in the world. You can make channels and pages about literally anything out there in the world. Your niche is really just your story plus your skills. You don't need to be an expert, you just need to be real. You just need to be an authentic person with everything that you do. No one has it all figured out. I'm making this video and I don't even know if this is gonna reach out to 1 viewer, 10 viewers, 100 viewers, or 1,000,000 viewers, but I'm posting it because this is still considered part of my niche. This is part of my story and it relates to skills that I have. I don't know absolutely everything about content and e-commerce, but I'm showing up every day to learn as much as I can so that I become better tomorrow. If anything, I'm just a few steps ahead of some of you guys watching this video, the same way that there are some people who are a few steps ahead of me too. I'm not that much different from a lot of you. I also came from working jobs, some that I hated, some that I enjoyed a bit more. But now I'm showing you guys how I'm building wealth using content creation, which is the one skill that I genuinely love. I've always enjoyed content to the fullest and it's changed my life, to be quite honest. It's currently raining right now. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but we're gonna keep going. Fuck it. I'm literally making this video in one of the richest parts of Toronto where you can literally see all of this, and pretty much every 5 minutes, I'm seeing some sort of crazy supercar that costs more than hundreds of thousands of dollars. Whether it be a Porsche GT3 or a Lamborghini Urus Performante or a Lamborghini Spider. I went to the coffee shop for 20 minutes and I saw about 6 different cars as I'm working. And I like the freedom of being like, yo, I want to work here today. You know, I could have picked anywhere else. I could have been at home working too. The same way I could have just decided to take a flight and be somewhere else and be like, yo, I want to work here today. That is only possible because of content creation. Like, I'm only able to be here right now because I decided to pick up the camera and post. I mean, like, look at this view. Look at this view. You're telling me this is not awesome? Like, I can literally aura farm right here in this corner right now. And look how honcho this shit looks. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, back to the topic at hand. Your story could be different, but that's what makes you unique, because no one has the exact replica of your life. I feel like the people who resonate with my content are people who can resonate with bits and pieces of my life and then see how that has turned out for me. And if they want to have the same type of life, then they will just keep watching my stuff, or at least learn a bit more from me. But people will be able to resonate with different pieces of my life and see how those pieces have led to where I'm at now. And if that's something that they want to learn a bit more of, then they'd be more interested in what I have to offer. Which, if that is you, then check the links down below where you'll have a bit more information about what it is that I'm actually offering for you guys if you want to get help starting out with all this. Another thing that I want to mention is that you should document instead of performing. You shouldn't try to be perfect, but at the same time, you are also the creative director of your story. Just share what you're doing, the lessons you've learned from what you're doing, what's working, and even what's not. It all depends on how you want to spin that. I don't think people care too much about knowing what's actually going on in my business. They'd like to know the lessons that I've learned from it. So for example, you wouldn't care about how I went from $3,000 to $15,000 a month, but you would care more if I told you I went from $3,000 to $15,000 a month in 60 days. And here's the 3 most important lessons that I've learned. I'd probably work on the hook a bit more, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Obviously, in the beginning, you always want to try to copy what works and always aim to improve and make your videos better the next time. But me documenting my story and my experiences from doing what I'm doing is going to be able to help so much more people as well, because then they'll be able to sit there and understand, oh, it doesn't really sound like it's a flex. It's him genuinely saying the big things that have helped change things for him, from him going from 4 figures to 5 figures a month. And some of those lessons ideally would be things that you can take for yourself and implement either into your own business or into your own journey and however you want to do it. I also like to look at it as talking to my past self, especially when it comes to these YouTube videos here. There are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions of people out there that are stuck exactly where you used to be and are patiently waiting for whatever it is that you are building to be able to help them out. Because personally, when I was like 16, 17, 18, I was always scared to create content, but in my head, I always knew I wanted to create content. I was watching KSI, King Batch, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, like in their early days when Vine was a thing. And I was posting on Vine and still getting shunned there too. But I knew that I genuinely enjoyed every single video I posted on those platforms. And even as I'm sitting there watching them on the computer, I'm like, I would love to live that type of life. It looks so fun and so amazing. That's why for me, it's always been to do it for my past self and any one of you guys who resonates with that. But at the same time, it's to do it for my future children too, because I want them to see that this stuff was possible, that they're able to take this route if they want to. I don't want to force this upon them, but I want them to understand that if you really wanted to do this too, you could. Here's how I did it. Maybe you could take some of the advice here to use it for yourself. And I feel like as I show up and make videos all the time too, I end up proving to myself that I'm actually able to do anything that I set my mind to as long as I take action. And that's probably one of the biggest things ever to me. Just the act of showing up and knowing that I stayed true to my word helps me gain more trust and self-acceptance with myself, because I said I was going to do something and I actually sat down and did it instead of saying something and then not doing it. Like, my word actually holds value the more I tend to do these things for myself. And at the end of the day, maybe you don't want to do content for the rest of your life. It won't be something that you have to do for the rest of your life if you don't want it to be that. But it definitely will lead you to having bigger and better opportunities to maximize your life to the fullest. I'm also a believer of slow motion is better than no motion. Shout out to Siobhan Salmon for that one. He's a GOAT. But essentially, you don't really want to aim for going viral. You want to aim for momentum, because you can go viral and have nothing come out of that virality. Especially in the content game, at the end of the day, you want to learn how you can get paid, right? If you go viral, but you go viral in the wrong ways, you will make no money because you didn't go viral for the right reason. But if you go viral for the right reasons, in a way that taps into your audience specifically, that could lead to you getting a bunch of either booked calls or new clients or new customers coming into your store, whatever it would be. But it would only work because you've created content that's going viral for the right reasons. And for you to figure that out, you need to aim for momentum, because the more that you show up, the easier it'll be for you to go viral, because the platforms will start understanding, oh, you're putting more into me. Let me help you by also showing your content to a lot more people. People go viral and get all excited instead of pushing the momentum on that video. You just went viral. You have hundreds of likes. You have 10 new followers every 10 minutes. Your page is going crazy. Your video is going crazy. You have nonstop comments. Why are you just letting the video pile up with all these comments? You have to start replying to each of these comments. Start talking to these people, showing them you are really here, that you are an actual person, you are an actual brand that cares about what they have to think. If you really think about it, the comment section is a really great place to get video ideas too. So you could use that for different video ideas as well. Different platforms allow you to actually make a reply video to their comment too. So you could do that as well. I've talked about this in other videos as well, but the whole point I'm trying to say here is that when you go viral, the whole idea is to not let the momentum drop. Strike while the iron is hot. Reply to more contents, interact with more of your viewers, post more stories for the followers that just came onto your page now, that just joined and just followed you, for them to see what you actually stand for, what it's like for your brand. You know, post more videos, show up some more. That's how you go from being a one-hit wonder to actually being relevant. And trust me when I say that, even with 1,000 followers on your page, your brand can bring in traffic, leads, and income as long as you've built it the right way. It all comes down to the type of content that you're posting. And in my opinion, every business model is going to need content creation regardless to help them generate more traffic and leads for their business, no matter what business model it is. But using that skill set, there's a specific blueprint to follow if you actually want to start getting paid, which, to keep it as simple as possible, it's posting your content, building a page, optimize it as best as you can too with your offer, have a link to your store or whatever your offer actually is. The customer gets interested enough to actually buy the product, and then you just end up getting the payout. Now, if it's an affiliate thing, you don't have to do anything else. You just collect your bag. But if it's your actual business, now you have to worry about actually fulfilling the offer as well for what they just paid. This is why I say again, and I can't stress this enough, every post you make is a digital asset, so treat it like one. You are genuinely building a reputation off of every single video that you post on the internet. This ends up building an actual community and a culture of people that resonate specifically with you. But the same way that every video builds up your reputation, one bad video can completely demolish the entire reputation as well. So you gotta keep that in mind as you keep posting your videos too. Think of it as a digital asset, not just, oh, I'm having fun and I'm posting videos. Have fun with it too, yeah, but there's a bigger picture behind the entire thing. And that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover in this episode of Unfiltered Game. I actually like that title. One thing I'm gonna do at the end of each of these videos, especially for those of you who've stuck all the way to the end, is I wanna give you one task, one piece of action that you can actually do today to help push the needle forward for you. And for episode 1, what I want you guys to do is create one post for at least a week. Just show up. It doesn't matter what type of video it is. You can literally just pick up the phone and start yapping. Instead of sending it to Snapchat just to your friends, post it on TikTok. Find out who else resonates with the message that you want to share. Just pick up the phone and start talking about something every day for the next 7 days. If you don't know what to talk about something that you actually like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be about content like me. It doesn't have to be about making money. It doesn't have to be all about business. It could be about just a hobby that you have, one interest. You could talk about books that you like reading. You can talk about anime. I fuck with anime heavily. I could take a video and start posting and talking about anime all the time. You could talk about business in general, how business side of things is going for you. Whatever it is, just pick up the phone and start yapping in front of the camera and do that for 7 days straight and just see what happens. Honestly, I don't want to say 30 days, but I don't want to push you guys too hard. Just start with 7 days and see how you feel after that. Build a whole new page if you want to. You don't have to put it on the main page where everybody else follows you, but just post for 7 days and see what happens. There's nothing bad, nor should you feel bad about trying something new and trying to get better at it too. I'm humble enough to accept that I'm not the greatest content creator, and I don't aim to be the greatest content creator ever to live on the planet, but I want to be the best that I can be, and I show up every day for that. I have the confidence to know that I actually can be the best, but I'm humble enough to also understand that I don't know everything right now, that there's still so much more for me to learn and do to be able to become the best. And you should have that same mindset too. That's honestly how I approach everything in life nowadays. I don't care to be the greatest to ever do it. I just want to be the best. And eventually, as I consider myself the best, over time, to some people, it'll be an undisputable fact that to them, I'll be the best. But I'll never really call myself the GOAT. I just be doing my shit. I'm at a point now where for me, I want the power to be able to go viral on command. Like, I want to have the Midas touch when it comes to content. Like, every post that I touch just turns to gold. It just turns viral. And that comes with a lot of practice, a lot of L's, and a lot of training. And then eventually you end up learning a lot of different skills, documenting different things that actually help you go viral consistently. I want to be the person where on my page, I can regularly hit 10 million views, 100 millions of views per month. Do you know what 100 million views to your business can do for you per month? I'm interested in seeing what car this is now. Hold up, I'm gonna show you guys this car real quick so you understand what I'm talking about. Look at this Lambo. That Midas touch isn't just something that I want for content specifically. I want that in the e-com game too. I want that in everything that I do. I want to be good enough at the things that I actually enjoy doing, or even new skills that I get into that I actually enjoy wanting to learn these things. I want to be able to know that, yeah, because I got into it, I'm going to get it down. I have that much confidence in myself to know that whatever I'm going to do, whatever I'm going to get into, whether it's content creation, e-com, or any future endeavor that I get into, I'm confident enough to know that I've got the Midas touch, that everything I touch, every project I get behind ends up working. It turns to gold, that I'm just a winner. That comes with time. You have to lose a lot at first, but those losses won't just be losses. There'll be learning lessons that you can take away from so that you can consistently and repetitively win. Then it just becomes an infinite cycle of you winning and winning and winning. And then people start betting on you because they know you are just a winner. That's enough yapping for me, especially for this one episode. But if you want more help with getting started and at least fast tracking a bit of this journey for yourself, then check out that first link in the description where you can join my community, where you'll be able to pick whichever route that you want to get into based off of things I've already tried and things that I know a bit more of. If you're new and you want to learn more about what I do, how I'm able to live this type of lifestyle, see these different things on a regular basis, and how to make money with content the same way that I have, then check out the second link in the description, which is going to essentially be a free training showing you exactly how I do what I do to be able to live this type of life that I live. What I want you guys to know is I'll share everything that I learned along the way for you guys in this series. So if you want more videos like this, then leave a like on the video and let me know in the comments if there's anything specific you want me to cover in the next episode. Aside from that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I want money, can't lose focus. Can't lose sight of what's important.
Not gonna lie, I wasn't on aura farming. This shit looks tough as fuck.